Hello dear students, welcome back to the channel BioPulse. This is Chandrika. Today is day 25 of the 40 days challenge and we are discussing the chapter Locomotion and then Movement. Movement is life and locomotion gives it direction. From the contraction of microscopic muscle fibers to the coordinated movement of bones and joints, the human body is beautifully engineered system designed for the motion. The chapter Locomotion and then Movement explain how muscles, bones and then joints work together to produce everything from the simple gesture to complex activities. From the simple gesture to the complex activities like running, jumping, skipping, etc. In this chapter we are going to discuss about how types of movements, structure and function of muscles, skeletal system and then joints, mechanism of some of the muscle contractions. Okay now, so understanding this chapter is crucial because it contains structure with function, a core concept in biology I can say. And if I talk about the marks weightage for your NEET concept, from this chapter you may expect 2 to 3 questions. That means approximately 8 to 12 marks you may expect from this chapter. Highly conceptual and then diagram based questions will be there from this chapter. So mostly we must focus on the diagrammatic manners and then labelings, those all things. Okay now. So let's get started. Let's dive. And first question for today's chapter is from introduction and then types of movement. First one, streaming of cytoplasm or cytoclasm is seen in option A, amoeba, option B, macrophages, option C, leukocytes and then option D, all. So here the right option is all. Amoeba, macrophages and then leukocytes. Cyclosis is also known as what? Cytoplasmic streaming I can say. Cytoplasmic streaming is what it means. It is a directed flow of the cytoplasm within a cell. Means if this is a cell, whatever the cytoplasmic content is there, no, it is going to be flow within the cell. Okay, the movement, whatever the cytoplasmic movement will be there, that one is called what? Cytoplasmic streaming. In amoeba, usually cytoplasmic streaming to form pseudopodia for movement and then capturing food, it is going to take place in the amoeba. If I am talking about macrophages and then leukocytes, here human white blood cells also exhibit the cytoplasmic streaming to move through tissue and then engulfing pathogens via amoeboid movement. So because all of three of the cells utilize such kind of process, the answer is all. I think streaming of cytoplasm you people came to know. If I am saying this is the cell, inside content whatever is there, no, is directed flow of the cytoplasm, okay now, within the cell. Next question, that is question number 2. Which of the following statement is correct? Which of the following statement is correct? Option A, cytoplasmic streaming helps in pseudopodia formation and amoeboid momentum. Just now I said this one is right. Cytoplasmic streaming is caused by contracting microfilaments. Yes, this one is also right. The movement of cytoplasm is driven by the interaction of the motor proteins, that is myosin protein you can say, with actin microfilaments within the cytoskeletal one. Okay, cytoskeleton is which is present inside the cell. And then C, both A and B. D, locomotion is not a voluntary movement. This one is wrong actually. In many higher organisms, if I say example humans only, locomotion, that is moving from one place to another place, is a voluntary action controlled by the somatic nervous system. So here the right option is option C, both A and B. Next question, that is question number 3. First one, paramecium employs cilia for pushing food in cytopharynx and in locomotion. Yes, this one is true. Cilia helps in both movement and then channeling the food here in the paramecium. And if I am talking about the second one, that is Hydra takes help of tentacles for both food capturing and locomotion. Yes, this one is true. Hydra uses tentacles to catch prey and then for the locomotion also. So this one is also true. Third one, all locomotions are movements and vice versa. This one is false, because while all locomotion is movement, but not all the movements are locomotion. For example, if I say blinking or heartbeat are movements, but do not result in a change of place, isn't it? Blinking of the eyes and then heartbeat. Yes, of course they are considered as movements only, but do not they are not at all result in the change of the place. That's what this one, what it means. All locomotion is movement. Yes, of course all the locomotion are movement, but vice versa is wrong. This one is false. Methods of locomotion vary with habitats and the demands of the situation. This one is true. Next, fifth one, ciliated epithelium is found in respiratory tract, renal tubules and then reproductive tracts. This one is false, because while found in the respiratory and reproductive tracts, that is fallopian tube, ciliated epithelium is not typically found in the renal tubules, which is mostly having simple cuboidal, where in the renal. Okay na? But in the respiratory and then reproductive tract you can find ciliated, but in the renal tubules we will see what? Simple cuboidal or else brushed border epithelial you can see there. So this one is also wrong. Here you won't see cilial epithelium. Which of the above statement is false? How many false he is asking? Fifth one and then third one. Third and 5. So the right option is C. For the third question, the right option is C. Next question, that is question number 4 from the muscles. Which of the following statement is false? Which of this following statement is false? A. Locomotion and many other movements required coordinated muscular activities. Yes, this one is true, because locomotion and most of the movement in the human body, if I say, requires the coordinated effort of skeletal muscles, isn't it? And then B. Muscle is a specialized tissue of the endodermal in origin. Muscle is a specialized tissue of endodermal in origin. This one is wrong. This one is false actually, because muscle tissue is actually mesodermal in origin, not the endodermal. It is mesodermal in the origin. Okay na? Not the endodermal. It is mesodermal. Mesodermal in origin. That's what this one is false. There are about 639 muscles which contribute about 40 to 50% of adult body weight. Yes, of course there are approximately 639 to 650 I can say skeletal muscles in the human body. According to, for that roughly 40 to 50% of adults body weightage will be the muscular skeletal muscles only. And then D. Muscles show contractibility, excitability and then flexibility. Yes, of course muscles possess 4 key functional characteristics, that is excitability, contractibility, extensibility and then elasticity. Elasticity he didn't give, but these 3 also muscles characteristic only, functional characteristic. So the D one is right. So here the right option for the fourth question will be B. This one is false. That's what this is the right. Next question, that is question number 5. Which of the following statement about the skeletal muscle is correct? Skeletal muscle is correct. A. They are striated muscles. B. They are voluntary muscles. C. They are primarily involved in locomotory action. And then D. All. So here for the question 5, the right option is all. These all are with respect to what? Skeletal muscle only. They are striated muscle, yes, under the microscope. Skeletal muscle fibers show alternating light and then dark bands, which is that's why they are called what? Striated muscles. If I say voluntary muscles, these muscles are under the continuous conscious contract of the somatic nervous system, meaning you can move them at will. Okay. The next, they are primarily involved in locomotory action. Skeletal muscles are attached to bones and are responsible for the body movement and then change in the body posture also. That's what all of them are right. So for the fifth one, the D option is right. Next question, there is question number 6. Which of the following statements about visceral muscle is correct? They are non-striated muscle, that is smooth muscle. Yes, correct. Visceral muscles do not have the banded appearance. Okay. They are involuntary muscles. Yes, of course. Their activity is not under the conscious control. They are regulated by the autonomous nervous system. They have various functions. Yes, of course, they have various functions. Perform many of the critical roles like moving food through the digestive tract and regulating blood flow in the vessels, etc. So the right option is D. Next one, that is question number 7. Cardiac or else heart muscle are A. striated and involuntary, B. not fatigued, C. branched, and then D. all. So here the right option is all. Yes, of course, heart muscle is striated and involuntary, like it's a skeletal muscle. They have stripped appearance under the microscope, you can see, but they function automatically without conscious control. They function automatically without what? Conscious. Not fatigue. They are designed for the continuous rhythmic contraction throughout a lifetime without tiring, isn't it? Because of the high density of the mitochondria and then consisting the blood supply. And what about the branched? Yes, the cells are branched and connected by intracalated discs, where which allows the electrical impulses to spread quickly so that the heart can contract as a single unit. So this one is also correct with respect to cardiac muscles. That's what the option D is right. Next question, that is question number 8. Which of the following statement is false? Which of the following statement is false? A. Smooth muscles are found in urinary bladder, alimentary canal and genital tract. Yes, of course, smooth muscles are involuntary muscles found in the walls of the hollow internal organs like urinary bladder, I can say, alimentary, that is digestive canal or else digestive tract, and then in the reproductive system also. B. A striated muscle is syncytium. A striated muscle is syncytium. Yes, that is multinucleated, I can say. This statement is right because striated muscle are formed by the fusion of the multiple cells, resulting in a single cellular unit with many of the nuclei. So that's what it is called, what? Syncytium. C. The cytoplasm of striated muscle is called endoplasm. The cytoplasm of the muscular fiber is called endoplasm. No, it is not called as endoplasm. It is called as sarcoplasm. Isn't it? It is called what? Sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm. plasm, not the endoplasm. So this one is false. Next, D. The plasma membrane and ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum, of striated muscles are called sarcolemma and sarcoplasmic reticulum respectively. Yes, of course. In the muscles, the plasma membrane is refers to as a sarcolemma, and then specialized endoplasmic reticulum is called as what? Sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this one is right. So he asked about the false statement. So that's what the right option is, option C. Next one, that is question number 9. The source of calcium for the muscles, the source of calcium ions for the muscles is A. T tubules, B. Sarcosomes, C. Sarcolemma, D. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. So here the right option is D. Sarcoplasmic reticulum, that is SR you can also say. This is what actually a specialized type I can say of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum found specially in the muscle cells. Its primary function is to store calcium ions and release them into the sarcoplasm when the muscle is stimulated to the contract. Next one, that is question number 10th. Question number 10. Fascia. The fascia surrounding a muscle is made up of A. Cartilage, B. Collagenous connective tissue, C. Adipose tissue, D. Blood vessels. The fascia surrounding a muscle is made up of cartilage, collagenous connective tissue, adipose tissue and blood vessels. So here the right option is collagenous connective tissue. Next, 11th one. Contractile fibrils of muscles are called as neurofibrils, collagen fibers, myofibrils and yellow fibers. So here the right option is myofibrils. They are actually basically rod-like units of the muscle cells, that is muscle fibers. They contain protein like actin and then myosin that slide past each other, allowing the muscles to contract and relax. If I talk about the neurofibrils, they are found in the neurons. Collagen fibers, they are strong and non-elastic fibers found in connective tissues. They are found in connective tissues, they are found in neurons. And yellow fibers, usually elastic fibers found in connective tissue that allows the stretching. Okay, and collagen fibers, non-elastic fibers found they are found in connective tissues like tendons and then ligaments. They are found in neurons. These are found in tendons and then ligaments. And they that allow what? Stretching. Stretching, this is C. So the right option for 11th question is C. Next one, that is 12th one. Myofibrils show alternate dark and then light bands in A. Cardiac muscle, B. Smooth muscles, C. Stripped muscles, D. A and C. Here the right option is D, A and C. Next, 13th one. Select the true statements. A band is present in middle of the sarcomere. Yes, this one is right. The A band, that is anisotropic band I can say, contains entire length of the thick filament and sits in the center of the sarcomere between two Z lines. Between what? Between two Z lines. Next, B. H zone is present in middle of A band. Yes, this one is also correct, where H zone is the central part of the A band where only thick filament are present. Next, C. M line is present in middle of H zone. This one is also right. So the D, all of the above is right. Next question, question number 14. Which of the smallest one? Which is the smallest one among the following? Which is the smallest one? A. Muscle fiber, B. Myofibril, C. Actin, D. Sarcomere. So here, which one is the smallest one means the answer is actin. Actin is the smallest one. Next question, that is question number 15. From structure of contractile proteins. 15th one, match the column 1 with column 2. Column 1 is given and then column 2 is here. First one, structural and functional unit of myofibril. Structural and functional unit of myofibril is what? Sarcomere. So A is 3. A is 3. A is having 3 is only 1, that is the D option. So for this, D option is correct. See, by only guessing one correct answer, you can get the right option here. So B, protein of thin filament is actually actin. B is actin, that is fourth one. Protein of thick filament. Protein of thick filament, that is myosin. C is 2. And then lastly, D is what? H. The central part of thick filament not overlapped by thin filament, that is what? H zone. So this is the 15th question. The correct option is D. Next one, that is 16th question. Z line divides the myofibril into. Z line divides the myofibril into A. Sarcomere, B. Sarcolemma, C. Sarcosome, D. Microtubules. So here the right option is A. Sarcomere. This is the basic functional unit of what? Muscle fiber, that is myofibril. Next, 17th one. Sarcomere is a area between. Sarcomere is the area between A. 2 H zones, B. 2 Z lines, C. 2 M lines, and then D. 2 A bands. So here sarcomere is the line or else area between 2 Z lines, that is B. What is sarcomere actually? It is the structural and functional unit of what? Muscle fiber, that is myofibril. We discussed about that. Next, 18th one. Light band, that is thin filament, contain actin and are called, thin filament containing actin and are called what? A. A bands or isotropic bands, B. A bands or anisotropic bands, C. I bands or isotropic bands, and then D. I bands or anisotropic bands. So here the right option is option C, I bands or isotropic bands. Next one, that is 19th question. Dark bands, that is thick filaments, contain myosin and are called A. A bands or isotropic bands, B. A bands or anisotropic bands, C. I bands or isotropic one, and then D. I bands or anisotropic bands. So here the right option is option A. It is called A bands or anisotropic bands. Next, 20th one. Which of the following statement about the striated muscle is false? He is asking false about the striated muscles. In the center of each I band is an elastic fiber, that is Z line, which bisects it. Yes, this one is right. The I band indeed bisects by a dense and an elastic line called what? Z line. Second one, thin filaments are firmly attached to the Z lines. This one is also right. Third one, M line is a fibrous membrane in the middle of A band. M line is the fibrous membrane in the middle of the A band. This one is also right. And then fourth one, a sarcomere comprises one full A bands and then two half I bands. Yes, this one is also right. Fourth one is also right. So none of them are false. That's what right option is, none. Next question, that is question number 21. The region between the ends of A bands of two adjoining sarcomere is A. Z band, B. H band, H zone, C. T tubules, D. I band. So here the right option is D. The I band. When in muscle anatomy, the I band is light colored region that contains only thin actin filament. It spans across the Z disc, okay, and covers the space between the ends of the thick A bands of the two adjacent sarcomeres. So here the 21 right option is D. Next one, question number 22. Choose the letters from the figure that most appropriately corresponding to the structure. Here what is A, B and then C, D, you must say. First one, A band. Here the structure A band is indicating what? E, and I band D, sarcomere F, H zone G, myosin. This one is myosin, and so this is indicating as a B. Actin, troponin and tropomyosin. Actin, troponin and tropomyosin, that is C. And the last one, seventh one, Z line, is A. So here the right option is option A. 1 is E, 2 is D, D, F, G, B, C and then A. 22th correct option is A. So this is the shortcut. Don't remember bands trick. I am H. Okay, I band is light, only actin will be there, and then A band is dark and it is having actin and myosin. Z zone is only having myosin in there. Next question, that is question number 23. An individual sarcomere consists of a stack of actin fiber, a stack of myosin units, C. overlapping actin and myosin, D. overlapping myosin arid membrane. So here the right option is option C. Next one, that is 24th one. Which of this following statement about the molecular arrangement of actin and myosin in myofibril is false? First one, each actin is made up of two filamentous actins. Yes, this one is right. Second one, F actin is the polymer of G actin. Yes, this one is also right. 3. Two F actins are twisted into a helix. Yes, this one is also true. Whereas fourth one, two strands of tropomyosins lie in the grooves of the F actin. Yes, this one is also right. Fifth one, troponin molecules are distributed at regular intervals on the tropomyosin. This one is also true. And the sixth one, troponin forms the head of the myosin molecule. This one is wrong, because troponin is a component of a thin filament, that is actin filament, not the myosin molecule. Here he gave an myosin molecule, isn't it? But actually it's a actin. The head of the myosin molecule is formed by heavy meromyosins, that is HMM. And then last one, seventh one, the myosin is a polymerized protein. Yes, this one is true. So only one is wrong, that is the sixth one. So only sixth one is wrong. The right option is C. Next, 25th question. One myosin filament in the myofibril of a skeletal muscle fiber is surrounded by how many actin filaments? A 8, B 2, C 6, and then D 4. In a myofibril, what happens of a skeletal muscle, one myosin is surrounded by 6 actin filaments. How many? 6 actin filaments. And this creates what? Hexagonal pattern when viewed in the cross section. Next one, that is 26th question. The cross bridge of sarcomere in skeletal muscle are made up of A. actin, B. myosin, C. troponin, and then D. myelin. So here the right option is option B, myosin. In skeletal muscles, what happen? The sarcomere contains two main types of filaments, that is thick filament and then thin filament. Myosin is the thick one. Okay, myosin is the thick one, whereas it is these heads form what? Cross bridges by binding to a specific sites on the actin filaments during what? Muscle contraction. Next one, 27th question. The function of tropomyosin in skeletal muscle includes sliding on actin to produce shortening, release calcium ions after initiation of the contraction, C. acting as a relaxing protein at rest by covering up the sites where myosin binds to actin, and then D. generates ATP. So here the right option is option C. Next, 28th one. Tropomyosin is moved by which of the following protein? A. calmodulin, B. actin, C. troponin, D. acetylcholine. So here the right option is option C, that is troponin. Next question, 29th one. Calcium ion bind dash in skeletal muscle and leads to exposure of the binding site for dash on the filament and then dash. Here calcium ion binds troponin. Troponin is in two options, so these two are deleted. Skeletal muscles and leads to exposure of the binding site for myosin. Myosin is here, so the right option is option A. Next, 30th one, figure is given. We must identify the figures which are labeled. 30th one, following is a figure of actin filament. Identify A, B, and then C. What is A, what is B, and then what is C? What is A? This is troponin, and then B is tropomyosin, and then C is F actin, isn't it? It is a F actin. So here the right option is option D, because A is troponin, and then B is tropomyosin, and then C is factin. Next question, that is question number 31. This is the myosin monomer structure. The below figure is related with myosin monomer. Identify A to C. What is A, what is C, what is B? You must identify. A is head, isn't it? And then B is cross armed, and C is ATP binding site. So here the right option is option A is head, B is crossing arm, and then C is ATP binding site. So the right option is option C. Next question, 32th one. Which of the following statement is false? Again, false. Each myosin is a polymerized protein. Each myosin is a polymerized protein. Yes, true. This one is true because myosin is a complex polymerized protein made up of monomeric unit, many of the monomeric units. B. Many myromyosin constitute one thick filament, that is myosin. Yes, this one is also correct. Each thick filament is a polymer composed of many monomeric proteins called what? Myromyosins. C. Each myromyosin's tail is called heavy myromyosin, that is HMM, and head is called light myromyosin, that is LMM. This one is wrong. Naming is reversed here, isn't it? Tail is called this one. Tail is called light myromyosin, not the head. Tail is called LMM, and heavy myromyosin is globular head. So this one is for head, this one is for tail. So here they given opposite. And then D. The globular head is an active ATPase enzyme and has binding. Yes, so this one is also true. So false one is only C. 32th one is correct answer is C. Next one, from the mechanism of muscle contraction, question number 33. The action potential that triggers a muscle contraction travels deep within the muscle called by means of A. Sarcoplasmic reticulum, B. Transfer tubules, C. Synapses, and then D. Motor and plates. So here the right option is option B, transverse tubules, that is T tubules. What actually these are? These are the extensions of cell membranes that penetrate into the center of the skeletal and then cardiac muscle cells. They allow the action potential to rapidly travel from the surface deep into the interior of the cell. Okay, now this sarcoplasmic reticulum, specialized SR you know already, and where the calcium ions are stored, and they are released after being triggered by the action potential from the T tubes. Okay, next one, that is 34th question. ATP provides energy for muscle contraction by allowing for an action potential formation in the muscle cells. B. Cross bridge detachment of myosin from actin. C. Cross bridge attachment of myosin to the actin. D. Release of calcium ions from sarcoplasmic reticulum. Here the right option is option B, detachment, that is of detachment of the myosin from actin. Next, 35th one. A motor unit is best described as A. All the nerve fibers and muscle fibers in a single muscle bundle. B. One muscle fiber and its single nerve fiber. C. A single motor neuron and all the muscle fiber that it innervates. And then D. It is the neuron which carries the message from muscles to CNS, central nervous system. So here the right option for the 35th one is C. Next, 36th question. Motor end plate is a neuromuscular junction, B dendron of motor neuron, C plate of motor neuron, D gradient of proton motive force. So motor end plate is a neuromuscular junction, whereas it's a specialized chemical synapse formed at the site where the terminal end of the motor neuron transmits signals toward muscle fibers. This structure functional connection is commonly known as what? Neuromuscular junction. Actually, how it is going to be work? When a nerve impulse reaches the end of the motor neuron, it releases the neurotransmitter, that is acetylcholine. Okay, this chemical binds to a receptor on the motor end plate, triggering the contraction in the muscle fiber. So next question, that is 37th one. Electrical excitation in a muscle fiber most directly causes A. movement of tropomyosin, B. attachment of the cross bridges to the actin, C. release of calcium ions from sarcoplasmic reticulum, D. splitting of ATP. Here the right option is option C. Next one, that is 38th one. The energy of muscle contraction is most directly obtained from A. phosphocreatine, B. ATP, C. anaerobic respiration, D. aerobic respiration. So here the right option is B, that is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Next one, 39th one. According to the sliding filament theory, A. actin moves past myosin, B. myosin moves past actin, C. both myosin and actin move past each other, D. none of this is correct. So according to the sliding filament theory, actin moves past myosin. Next question, that is question number 40. Put the following phases in the proper order to describe what occurs at the neuromuscular junction to trigger muscle contraction. So first, receptor sites on sarcolemma. No, first what happens? Nerve impulse will be there. Nerve impulse, let me write so that we can easily go through with that. First what happens? There will be nerve impulse which is an action potential arrives at the axon terminal. Next, release of the calcium from the sarcoplasmic. No, the neurotransmitter acetylcholine is released. Yes. The next will be after 2, there will be fourth one, that is the neurotransmitter acetylcholine is released. The impulse triggers the release of the acetylcholine into the synaptic gap. After that what happens? Synaptic cleft will be there. So this one, after that synaptic cleft. Fourth, next one is after the 4, 6. Next, receptor sites on sarcolemma. Next comes 1. After that, spread of impulse over the sarcolemma on T tubes. Next comes the 7th one, and after T tubes, release of the calcium ions from the sarcolemma reticulum. After the 7th one, 3rd one, and then last sarcomere shorten. Last one is sarcomere shortens. So this is what actually the phases proper order, that is 2, 4 2 4 6, where is 6? Yes, 6 1 7 3 and then 5. So the right option is option B. Next question, question number 41. Go through the following diagram describing muscle contraction. Now identify A to E. What is A, B, C, D, E, and okay. What is A? This one is cross bridge. This one is what? Cross bridge. A is cross bridge. What is B? It's a cross bridge formation. And then C is rotation power stroke. So A is cross bridge. A is cross bridge for all. B is cross bridge formation. B is also there in all the options. C is what? Sliding, or else you can also call it as rotation power stroke. C is breaking of cross. No, C is sliding. So here it is, and for the fourth option is also there, and for this third one is also there. D is breaking of cross bridge, isn't it? It's a breaking of cross bridge. And then E is ATP. E is ATP. So here A is cross bridge, B is cross bridge formation, C is sliding rotation, and then D is breaking of cross bridge, and then E is ATP. So the right option is option B. 41th option B is right. Next, 42. How does the troponin-tropomyosin complex affects cross bridge cycling? Affects what? Cross bridge cycling. A. When calcium ion is low, the troponin-tropomyosin complex blocks the actin's binding site for myosin. When calcium ion is high, the complex rolls out of the way, allowing myosin to bind to actin and initiates the cross-bridge cycle. B. Troponin-tropomyosin complex regenerates ATP for the myosin ATPase. C. Troponin and tropomyosin complex regulates calcium released from the terminal cisternae. And then D. Troponin-tropomyosin complex binds to the myosin head, facilitating contact with the actin filaments. So among them, the right option is option A. Next one, 43. Relaxation of muscle is due to A. Pumping of calcium ion into sarcoplasmic cisternae. Yes. B. Presence of ATP. No. C. Conformational change in troponin and masking of actin filament. This one is also right. So the right option is option D. Next, 44th question. Arthritis is, it's a disease oriented question. Arthritis is inflammation of muscles, inflammation of bone, inflammations of joints, inflammation of tongue. So here arthritis is inflammation of joints. Next, 45th question. When a skeletal muscle shortens during contraction, which of these statement is false? False, he is asking. A. I band shortens. Right. B. A band shortens. No, A band won't shorten. A band remains the same length will be there, stays the same length, because it represents the length of the thick filament which do not shortens. That's what this one is false. And then C. H zone becomes narrow. Yes, of course it becomes narrow as actin filaments move towards the center of the sarcomere. And whereas D. Sarcomere shortens. Yes, sarcomeres also shortens as the distance between Z zone disc decreases, they are going to shorten. So here the right option is option B, which one is false. Next, 46th question. The muscle band that remains unchanged during muscle contraction and relaxation of the skeletal muscle is option A I, B is A, C is H, and then D is Z. So here the right option is option B. See, according to the sliding filament theory, A band will remain same, okay, remain unchanged. I band is going to be shortened. It is going to be shortened. And what about H? H zone is also going to be shortened or else even sometimes disappears. And what about Z zone? It is going to decrease. It is also going to decrease. It is also shortened and it is also shortened, H and then I band. But what about A? They remain same. So the next question, that is question number 47. Which of the following statement is correct? During muscle contraction, chemical energy changes into mechanical energy. Right, of course. The chemical energy stored in the form of ATP is converted into mechanical work, that is a movement. Muscle fatigue is due to lactic acid formation due to anaerobic respiration. Yes, this one is also right. Because when muscles lack sufficient oxygen during the intense exercise, they switch to anaerobic respiration, which produce what? Lactic acid as a byproduct. This accumulation of the lactic acid results to what? Muscle fatigue. See, the reaction time of the fiber can vary in different muscles. Yes, of course. If I say muscle fibers are categorized into different types, like fast twitch and then slow twitch, and their reaction times vary depending on this specific muscle function. So here the right option is all. 47th one, the right option is all. Next, 48th question. The compound or pigment acting as an oxygen store in skeletal muscle is. The compound or pigment acting as an oxygen store in skeletal muscle is A. Myoglobin, B. Hemoglobin, C. Myokinase or ATP, D. Cytochrome. So here the right option is myoglobin. Actually, it is an iron and oxygen binding protein which is found in the skeletal muscle tissue of the mammals usually. It serves as a local oxygen reservoir, means providing oxygen to a muscle during the period of high demand or else the low blood flow. Next question, that is question number 49. First one, number of mitochondria less and number of mitochondria is more. What is about? Identify above 1 to 8 traits as a characteristic of A and then B types of the muscles. Okay, again you must write. Second one, number of the mitochondria is more. Third one, sarcoplasmic reticulum is abundant. Fourth one, myoglobin content high. Fifth one, sarcoplasmic reticulum is moderate. Sixth one, aerobic muscles. And then seventh one, depend on the anaerobic respiration for the energy. And then eighth one is less myoglobin content. So here they given red muscles and then white muscles. For red muscles how many, and then for white muscles how many we must. But actually red muscle, it is a slow twitch fiber, and then if I am talking about the white muscle, it's a fast twitch muscle. So among them, for the red muscle, it is number of mitochondria is more. So here comes the second one. And if I am talking about myoglobin content is high here. So for this, fourth one is also included in the red muscle. Next, sarcoplasmic reticulum moderates. Fifth one is also included in the red muscles only. And what about 4? Aerobic muscle. Yes, here it is in the 6th also in red muscles. if I'm talking about the white muscle, it includes, among them it includes, first one, number of mitochondria is less. Next, third one is also here. Next, seventh one depend on anaerobic respiration, whereas it is aerobic and it is anaerobic. So seventh one is here, and at last eighth one is also here. So here A is 2, 4, 5 and then 6. A is 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, next not 5, 4, 2, 5, sorry 2, 4, 5, 6, and then B is 1, 3, 7 and then yes, B is right here. So 49th question, B is right. I think you understood, isn't it? They are given the types of muscles, right? Red muscles and then white muscles, which is slow and then fast twitch. The statements includes like this. They are the difference among them also. So 50th question, that is from the skeletal system. Question number 50. Skeletal system consists of A, only bones, B, only cartilage, C, a framework of bones and a few cartilage, D, a framework of cartilage and a few bones. So here the right option is option C. Human skeleton system, if I say, is not composed of only bones. While bones form the primary structure, of course, but cartilage plays a very crucial role in the providing flexibility and cushioning at the joints like nose, ears and then between vertebrae. So both are frameworks of, like skeletal system is framework of what? Both bones and then cartilage, few of the cartilage. Next one, 51. Bone has a very hard matrix due to presence of A, NaCl, B, calcium salts, C, potassium salts and then D, ferrous salt, Fe salts. So here the right option is option B, that is calcium. They are incorrect. Next one, 52. Cartilage has slightly pliable matrix due to cartilage has slightly pliable due to A, chondroitin salts, B, estroblast, C, chondroblast and then D, osteoclast. So here the right option is option A. Next question, that is question number 53. How many bones make up the human skeleton? How many bones make up the human skeleton? Here the right option is option D, 206. Next, 54th one. Number of bones in human axial skeleton. Number of bones in human axial skeleton. Actually, bones in human is mainly divided into, that is human skeleton is mainly divided into two main parts, that is axial and appendicular. Okay, axial and appendicular. So here appendicular has 80 bones. Sorry, axial has 80 bones. Sorry for that. Axial has 80 bones and then appendicular has 126 bones. 126 bones. Okay. Axial, like central axis of the body, it includes, if I say, skull, vertebral column, ribs and then sternum. In the appendicular, what happens? There will be 126 bones which are including limbs, that is arms and then legs, and girdles, that is pectoral and pelvic girdles, and connect them to the axial skeleton. So here there will be 126 and here axial will be having 80. So in the next question, that is the match the following one. 55th question, column 1 with column 2, match the following. Number of bones is given. First one, that is cranium or else brain box. It is how much number of bones? Number of bones should be here, this one, not here, this one, number of bones. Cranium is having 8, that is brain box, so A is 2, that protects what? Brain. Next B, that is skull, cranial and facial bones. Skull, it is having 29, so B is 1. Including what? Cranium, that is 8, and then face, it is having 14. Hyoid 1. Here face, how much? Just now I said face is having 14 number of bones. And then hind limb, it is having 30. D is 5, and then ribs, it is having 12 pairs, that is fourth one. So A is 2, A is 2, only one is that, so the right option is B here. Next question, question number 56. Hyoid or tongue bone is, hyoid or tongue bone is T-shaped, B J-shaped, C U-shaped, D L-shaped. So here the right option is option C, it is U-shaped. Hyoid bone, or else it is also known as tongue bone, which is very unique, which is horseshoe shaped or else U-shaped, also situated in the anterior middle line of the neck between the chin and the thyroid cartilage. Next, 57th one. A normal human being has how many ear ossicles? How many ear ossicles? Okay. Option A is 3, B is 6, C is 9, and then D is none. Here, let me tell you, middle ear contains 3. Okay, 3 ossicles. Middle ear contains how much? 3 ossicles, which includes hammer, anvil, and then stapes, that is which one is the smallest one. So since normal being has 2 ears, total number will be what? 3 into 2, that is 6. So the right option is option B, 6. Got it? Middle ear contains how much? 3 ossicles. Next one, 58th question. Which one of the following is not included under ear ossicles? Which one is not included under ear ossicles? Malleus, hilum, incus, and stapes. So here hilum is not included because it is on the other hand is the third and then final part of the small intestine in the digestive system, ileum, isn't it? It is not a 59th one. Human cranium has a small protuberance at the posterior end called dash and dash in number that articulates with first vertebra, that is atlas vertebrae. So here A, occipital condyle 6, occipital condyle 2, occipital condyle 4, occipital condyle 3. Here the right option is option B, occipital condyle and then 2. Human cranium has small protuberance at the posterior end called what? Occipital condyle, and which is 2 in number. Next, 60th one. Human skull is A, dicondylic, B, monocondylic, C, proceolus, and then D, heteroceolus. So here the right option is option A, dicondylic. Next one, 61. Which of the following statement about human vertebral column is false? Is false. Okay. A, vertebral column consists of 26 vertebrae. Yes, of course, in adult human the column is composed of 26 serially arranged units, that is 7 cervicals, 12 thoracics, and 5 lumbar, and one is fused sacrum and one is fused coccyx. So here totally there will be 26 serial arrangement. B, it is ventrally placed. This one is false because it is not ventrally placed, it is dorsally placed, that is along the back of the body. Next one, C, it extends from the base of skull and constitutes the main framework of the trunk. Yes, of course, this one is right. It starts at the occipital bone of the skull and serves as the primary structure support to the torso. Next, D, neural canal in vertebrae is the passage for spinal cord. Yes, of course, this one is also right. So the option here, which one is false, means B. B is right. Next, 62. Human adult vertebral column is C4, T8, L4, S8, and then C8. Here C means cervical, T means thoracic, L means lumbar, L means lumbar, S means sacrum, and then lastly C means coccyx. So here just now I said how many there will be in a human adult vertebral column, that is cervix will be 7 and thoracic will be of 12, lumbar will be 5, and sacrum is of 1, and coccyx is also 1. So the right option C is 7, T12, L5, S1, and C1. The right option is D here. So 62, the right option is D. 63. Which of the following vertebrae in adult human are fused once? A, thoracic and lumbar. B, thoracic and cervical. C, sacral and coccygeal. D, cervical and coccygeal. So here the right option is sacral and coccygeal. So here what happens? Sacral and coccygeal. Sacral will fuse to form together to form only one single bone, which is called as sacrum, and coccygeal, which is coccygeal. Here they fuse to form a single bone, which is called coccyx. Okay, all the bones which is going to fuse to form coccyx. And sacral bones will fuse to form what? Sacrum. Next, 64th question. Which of the following is not the function of vertebral column? Not the function of vertebral column. A, protects spinal cord and supports the head. Right. B, serves as the point of attachment for the ribs and musculature of the back. Yes. C, both. Yes, both are right. And supports tarsals and then metacarpals. This one is wrong. Tarsals actually are the bones in our ankles or else foot, I can say, and metacarpals are the bones in our hands. So vertebral column is not having function of like that. it is located in the central axis of the body, doesn't provide the direct support to the hands and or else foot, I can say. So this one is the wrong one. So which one is not the function of vertebral column? That is D. 65th question. Which of the following is not correct about sternum? A. It is commonly called as breastbone. Yes, this is correct because sternum is a long and then flat bone located in the center of the chest. So this one is right. It is flat bone. Yes, just now I said. This one is correct. It is 2 in number. This one is wrong because human has only one sternum, not the 2. 2 is wrong. We have only one. So the right option is C. It is located on the ventral midline of the thorax. This one is right. So 65th one, right option is C because it's a wrong one. Next, 66. Each typical rib is a thin flat bone connected dash to a vertebral column and dash to the sternum. So here each typical rib is a thin flat bone connected to dorsally to a vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum. So the right option is first one. Next, 67th question. A typical ribs are A. Monocephalic, B. Dicephalic, C. Tricephalic, and then D. Tetracephalic. Typical ribs are dicephalic. Why? Because it is called as dicephalic. They possess 2 articulation points, that is head on their posterior end for the attachment of the vertebral column, so that it is having 2 things, that is the head and then tubercles. Okay, head connects with the bodies of the thoracic vertebrae, whereas tubercles connects with the transfer process of the thoracic vertebrae. So here it is called what? Dicephalic. That's what di means 2. Next one, 68th one. Match the column question, column 1 with column 2. A. True ribs. True ribs, it is having how many? 7 pairs. The first 7 pairs of the ribs are called what? True ribs, because they attach directly to the sternum, that is breastbone, via which cartilage? Costal cartilage, isn't it? Yes. Next, B. False ribs. False ribs, that is 3 pairs. Eighth, 9th and then 10th pairs are false ribs. False ribs. Okay, which one? 8th, 9th and then 10th one. Why? Because they do not attach directly to the sternum. Instead they join the cartilage of the 7th rib, isn't it? That's what. And then floating ribs. Cth one is floating rib and it is for what? C is 2. It is having 2 pairs. Last 2 pairs, which is I can write here, that is 11th and 12th one, are called what? 11th and 12th one are called floating ribs, because they have no ventral attachment to the sternum. So here A is 3, B is 1. A is 3, B is 1 and then C is 2. So the right option is option B. Next one, that is 69th. Again, they match the following question. Already I wrote here answer, isn't it? Shall I leave this question to you? Will you comment your answer in comment box? Let me see how many of you are eager to answer for this question. I will leave this question's answer for you, so that you just comment your answer in comment box. So we'll move to the next one. 70th question. Which of the following ribs are called vertebrochondral ribs? Vertebrochondral ribs. A. True ribs. B. False ribs. C. Gorglia ribs, and then D. Floating ribs. So here the right option is B. True ribs are actually called vertebrosternal ribs. Okay, vertebrosternal ribs, not the vertebrochondral. So here I can write here vertebrosternal ribs. Okay, that's what. The false rib is called what? Vertebrochondral ribs. Next, 72th question. Rib cage is formed by all except A. thoracic vertebrae, B. lumbar vertebrae, C. ribs, and then D is sternum. So here the right option is B. Lumbar vertebrae. Rib cage, that is thoracic cage, is having thoracic vertebrae, ribs, and then sternum. Next, 73th question. Each limb consists of how many bones? Each limb consists, that is lower, upper or lower, consists of how many bones? Option A 30, B 60, C 101, and then D is 8. So here the right option is A. Each human limb, that is one arm and then one leg, consists of exactly 30 bones, isn't it? If I write here, place won't be there. Humerus will be 1, radius and ulna 2, carpals 8, metacarpals 5, phalanges 14, totally 30. And then lower limb, that is leg, femur 1, and then petallae 1, tibia and fibula 2, tarsals 7, that is ankles, metatarsals 5, and then phalanges 14, that is toes. So totally 30. In the next upcoming questions you will be having the pictures, so I am not writing here. Next question, that is question number 74. The accompanied figure is of rib cage. Identify A, B, and then C respectively. What is A, what is B, and then what is C? A is sternum here, isn't it? A is sternum. Where is sternum? Sternum. B is rib, and then C is vertebral column. So the right option is option B. Next question, question number 75. Number of bones in human appendicular skeleton is. Appendicular skeleton is, already I said about that, isn't it? Human skeleton bones are divided into two, axial and then appendicular, isn't it? So axial is having 8 and then appendicular is having 126, totally having 206. Next, 76. Number of bones in each upper limb is. Number of bones in each upper limb is 111, 85, 14, 222, 16, 10, 28, 111, 85, 14. Here what is 111? This one is that is humerus. I will write here. Let me write here. Humerus, humerus, which is 1 in number. Next, radius. I am using mouse so I can't write properly. Radius, which is 1, and ulna, again 1. Carpals 8, metacarpals 5, and lastly phalanges. Phalanges, how many? 14. So adding these together we get how much? 30. Last question was that, no? 30. So here the right option is option D. Next question, question number 77. Phalangeal or distal formula for the human hand or foot is 0223, 02333, 22333, 23333. So here the right option is 1, 2 and then 4 3s. 2, 3, 3, 3. The right option is option D. Next question, question number 78. The hand contains dash carpals, that is wrist bones, dash metacarpals, that is palm bones, and dash phalanges. The hand contains 8 carpals, that is wrist bones. How many metacarpals? 5. Lastly we discussed, isn't it? And then how many phalanges? 14. So 8, 5, 14. 8, 5, 14. Right option is option C. Next one, this is the diagram. The accompanied diagram shows, 79th question, the accompanied diagram shows right pectoral girdle and upper arm, that is frontal view it is. Identify A to G. From A to G. What is A? What is G? A is, this one is collarbone. So A is collarbone. That one you can also call what? Clavicle, isn't it? Normally we can call it as collarbone, but biological word is clavicle. Where is clavicle? Clavicle, clavicle. A is clavicle, the last one. So this one itself is the right. See, only by one labeling the correct answer is the D one. And let us check, cross check. B is shoulder blade, or else we can also call as scapula. And then C is humerus, that is upper arm bone. This one is upper arm bone. And then D, it is radius. D is radius. E is ulna. This one is ulna, this one is radius. D is radius, E is ulna, right? And then F is, that is wrist bones, which is also called what? Carpals. And then G is metacarpals. Metacarpals, isn't it? So the right option is option D. Next one, 80th question. An acromion process is characteristically found in, it is characteristically found in pelvic girdle of mammals, pectoral girdle of mammals, skull bone, vertebral of the mammals. So here the right option is option B, pectoral girdle of mammals. Acromion process is what actually? Bony prominence of the scapula, that is shoulder blade, what we can say, which is a key component of the pectoral girdle. It is extends over the shoulder joints and articulates with the clavicle, that is collarbone, to form the acromyoclavicular joint. Next, 81. The shoulder blade is large triangular bone situated in dorsal part of the thoracic between second and 7th rib is called A. Clavicle, B. Ilum, C. Scapula, and then D. Carpals. So here the right option is scapula, 2nd and 7th rib. Whereas clavicle is also known as what? Collarbone. We discussed about this. It's a long bone that connects the arm to the body. And this one, ilium. It's also a large bone that forms the upper part of each half of the pelvis. Don't get confused, ilum to ilium, isn't it? Carpals, this one is a small bone that makes up the wrist. Next question, that is question number 82. For articulation of head of the humerus, a depression found in scapula is called A. acetabulum, B. manubrium, C. occipital condyle, and then D. glenoid cavity. So here the right option is glenoid cavity. What it is actually, it's a shallow pyriform articular surface located on the lateral angle of the scapula. Next, 83th one. Which one of the following statement is correct? Correct, he is asking. Pectoral and pelvic girdle bones help in the articulation of the upper and then lower limbs respectively with the axial skeleton, right? Each girdle is formed of two halves. Yes, left and then right one. Each half of the pectoral girdle consists of a clavicle, that is collarbone, and scapula. Yes, this one is also right. So all of them are correct. Right option here, it is D. Next, 84th one. Which of the following statement is false? He is asking false. Scapula has the spine which projects as acromion process. Yes, this one is right. Below acromion process is a glenoid cavity. Yes, we discussed about that. Each clavicle articulates with acromion, right? Clavicle is long S-shaped bone with 4 curvatures. No, this one is wrong actually, because it is not having 4, it is having only 2 curvatures. Yes, of course it is S-shaped, but it is having 2, not the 4. Here it is going wrong. So which among them is false? The D one is false. Next, 85. Which one of the following is the longest bone in the human? Longest bone in the human: radius, tibia, femur, and clavicle. That is, femur is the thigh bone, and whereas clavicle is a collarbone. Here the right option is option C, femur. Longest and strongest also. Next one, that is 86th question. Human foot consists of 26 bones. What are the number of tarsals, that is ankle bones, metatarsals, and phalanges respectively? Okay, here let me write tarsals, that is ankle bones. How many they are? 7. If you are talking about metatarsals, they are about 5, and phalanges, they are about 14. So 5, 7, 5, 14. The right option is option A. They equals to 26 bones. Next, 87. A cup-shaped bone covering knee vertically is called. A cup-shaped bone covering the knee vertically is called what? A. cuneiform, B. tarsal, C. patella, and then D. carpal. So here the right option is P. patella. It is usually commonly called as what? knee cup we used to call, which is very thick and then circular triangular bone. Next question, here it is, this one. This is patella. Next question, 88th one. Study the accompanying figure. Identify A, B, C, and D. A, B, C, and then D. D is patella, just now I said, isn't it? What is A? It's a ilium, the large and then broad bone forming the upper part. This is ilium. And then B is pubis, This one is pubis. C is ischium, and then D is petale, the kneecap. So here the right option is ilium, pubis, ischium and petale. The D one is right. 89th one. Acetabulum occurs in A. cranium, B. pectoral girdle, C. pelvic girdle, D. vertebrae. Here the right option is not the D, sorry, C. Pelvic girdle it is. Pelvic girdle. What actually acetabulum is? It is actually a concave surface which is located in the pelvic girdle. It is formed by the fusion of three bones, that is ilium, ischium and then pubis. Its primary function is to serve as the socket for the head of the femur, that is the thigh bone forming the hip joints. You can see here this one, hip joints. Okay, that is called what? Acetabulum, which is present in what? Pelvic girdle. Next, 90th one. Pelvic girdle, that is hip girdle, is composed dash coxal bones, hip bones. How many hip bones? 3, 2, 4, 5. It is formed of two, that is two large coxal bones, which is also called as what? Hip bones. Next one, that is 91th one. Pelvic girdle consists of, I said about this, ilium, ischium and pubis. Ilium, ischium and pubis. See, among these two only E is difference, isn't it? This is the part of intestine which is there in the digestive system. Double, this one is right actually. This spelling is right. So here the right option is B. Next, 92 question. Two halves of pelvic girdle articulate ventrically at a fibrocartilaginous joint called A. pubic symphysis. This one itself is right. Pubic, two halves of the pelvic girdle meet vertically, that is at the front, to form a pubic symphysis. This is a secondary cartilaginous joint consisting of a disc which is called as fibrocartilage that connects the two pubic bones. Next one, that is 93. Each coxal bone is formed by fusion of three bones. Name the three bones. Here three bones are ilium, ischium and then pubis. Not this one, not E in I. Okay, don't get confused among them. Actually ilium, which refers to the final section of the small intestine rather than the ilium. So here the right option is option B. Next question, that is from the joints. 94th question. Which of the following statements about the joints is false? A. Joints are essential for all types of the movements involving in bony parts. Yes, of course, joints acts as a fulcrums for the muscles to leverage, making them essential for the movement involving in the bony parts. Next one, joints are contact between the bones or between the bones and then cartilage. Yes, this one is also true. C. Fibrous joints are immovable. This one is also true. In skulls, sutures are there, no, do not allow any movement. So that one is also right. And then D. Cartilaginous joints permit great movement. This one is false, because cartilaginous joints, that is the joints between the vertebrae, only permit limited movement. It is like a venial joints that permits great significant movement. So here there will be a limited, not the permit great movement. Okay, cartilaginous will form the limited one. So this one is false. He is asking false, no. So 94th one, D is right option. Here is the next question, that is question number 95. Match the column 1 with column 2. Column 1, hinge joint. Hinge joint is for between knee joint. Hinge joint is for what? Knee joint. 1 is 5. So 1 is 5. A is 5 means option B and then option C are eliminated. Let's see. Pivot joint. Pivot joint is between atlas and then axis. So B is fourth one here. B is 4. So A is right option. Next, 96th question. Which of the following statement is correct? A. Synovial joints are characterized by synovial cavity with fluid between the articulating surface of two bones. Yes, this one is correct. Synovial joints are freely movable. Yes, this one is also right. C. Ball and socket, hinge joint, gliding joints and pivot joints and saddle joints are the types of synovial joints. This one is also right. So all of them are correct. 97th question. Joint between the bones in the form of sutures of this human skull is A. Hinge joint, B. Synovial joint, C. Cartilaginous joints and then D. Fibrous joints. So here the right option is option D. Next, 98th one. Which of the following statement is correct? Movable skull bone is mandible. B. We move our hands while walking for balancing. C. Cartilaginous joints have little mobility due to fibrocartilaginous disc between its articular ends. Example, intervertebral disc between the central of the vertebrae. All of them are correct. So the right option here it is D. Next, disorders of muscular and skeletal system. 99th question. A disease associated with joint is A. Glaucoma, B. Arthritis, C. Paget's disease and then D. Homer's disease. So here the right option is arthritis. Glaucoma is a eye condition damage disease which is damaging in the optic nerve. Paget disease is affect the skeletal system by disturbing or disrupting the replacement of the old bone tissue. Okay na? It is also called as what? Bone disease rather than the primary joint disease. Next, Homer's syndrome. It's a rare condition affecting the nerves to the eye and then face, usually causes by an underlying medical issues like stroke and then tumor, I can say. Next, centuryth question, that is 100th one. Gout is the inflammation of joints due to the accumulation of A. Urea crystals, B. Ammonium, C. Uric acid crystals, D. CaCO3 crystal. So here the right option is C. Uric acid crystals. It is actually gout. It's a form of the inflammatory arthritis which is characterized by the accumulation of what? Monosodium urate crystals, that is uric acid crystals also you can say, in the joints. 101. Age related disorders characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chance of fractures. Second one, causative factors deficiency of estrogen is common. The above characteristics are associated with B. Osteoporosis. Osteoporosis. Next one, that is 103. 103. Tetany is the rapid spasm in muscles due to the low calcium ion in the body fluid. And then last one, that is the 104th question. Progressive degeneration of skeletal muscles due to genetic disorder is called progressive degeneration of skeletal muscle due to genetic disorder is called myasthenia gravis, B. tetany, C. muscular dystrophy, and then D. myopia. So here the right option is option C. This is the last question of today's chapter, that is locomotion and then movement. Here are some tricks and then shots which I am listed below. Make sure take a screenshot of this, it will be helpful for your NEET. So if this video is helpful for you, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you one and all.